I was a wallflower woman, asleep in a trap that I didn't even recognize. But hey, I had some really good company there, because it said that 90% of women are actually wallflower women, minimized, marginalized, and undervalued, stuck in a flat existence as if we were wallpaper decorating the lives of everybody around us. Now, some say we wallflower women are our own worst enemies, that we are weak, or that we are shy, or that we're afraid, or that we're just plain passive. Would it surprise you to know that there's extensive research that actually shows that young girls in adolescence replace relationships with other people as if they're more important than the relationship with themselves, than their own voice? All right, I see we have a mixed group tonight, and I don't want to lose part of you. So, yes, I am speaking about women, but I'm also speaking to men. Those that care about the women in their lives, mothers and grandmothers, sisters and cousins, even your wives and children and grandchildren, your coworkers and colleagues, even fellow students. Because this is a spiritual battle. We feel alone and powerless, and we need your support. So let me explain the impact to you. For us, we have to pay attention to this inner conflict that's going on. It's intense. It causes us to be distanced, to be dissociated. As a matter of fact, it can even cause us to be filled with questions about our own self-worth and about our place in the world, until we end up feeling like a pretzel, twisted with questions like, who am I? And what's wrong with me? And where do I fit? Now, you may not realize it, but that same dynamic is playing out in your homes and in your neighborhood. As a matter of fact, in Greenville and the upstate, and I know because it's global. Let me show you. Oh, yes. There's a 2015 United Nations report on developed and developing regions, and it relates to women at home, but also at their job. Women have less decision-making power. They have limited access to and control of resources, most especially finances. They have fewer legal protections. There's higher poverty levels and illiteracy rates. There are higher rates of violence and death from STDs. And actually the first one, which is less decision-making power, plays into some of those things, because 40% of acts of violence do not even get reported. So the question is all of this acceptable? Is it expected? I suggest that since it is global, since all of this is true, the dynamic as well as the data, that we should consider what would happen if wallflower women were able to escape from their trap. If women were given the opportunity to actually experience the fulfillment of their full potential. That's called self-actualization. And here's a list that I drew from the work of psychologist Stephen Joseph, who says that self-actualization is a state in which people are at their very best. First, women would understand the world and their place in it. They would value themselves, then other people in balance. They would form deep and mutually edifying relationships. They would appreciate life and live it on their own terms. They would regain their voice and express their emotions. So, what would the world look like if this is what happened with women? If they did escape the trap and reach their full potential? Well, I would say that our homes and our neighborhoods would change for the better. Greenville and the upstate would change for the better. As a matter of fact, we'd see that change around the world. My name is Sandra Allen Lovelace, and I'm here because I woke up.